Why do you think life will wait for you? You might be sitting there, feeling like life is racing ahead while you're stuck in the same spot, wondering why things aren't falling into place. Let me be clear. Life doesn't pause, it doesn't slow down, and it doesn't wait for you to get ready. The world keeps moving, opportunities keep passing, and every moment you hesitate is a moment you're not stepping into your potential. But here's the truth. You have the power to change the game. I'm not here to explain why you feel stuck or why life seems unfair. I'm here to show you why you must succeed and how you're going to do it. Through these 5 transformative habits, you're going to rewire your mindset, reshape your reality, and become the unstoppable force you were born to be. Are you ready to stay in it? Let's dive deep into these habits and build a life that doesn't just happen to you. You create it. Habit 1. Start your day with intention. Picture this, the alarm goes off, and the world is already clamoring for your attention. Your phone buzzes with notifications, your inbox is overflowing, and your to-do list feels like a mountain you'll never climb. Most people wake up and immediately surrender to this chaos, letting it dictate their mood, their focus, their entire day. They're not living, they're reacting, tossed around by life's currents like a leaf in a storm. But you're going to be different. Starting your day with intention is about taking the wheel before the world grabs it. It's about deciding, from the moment you open your eyes, who you're going to be, what you're going to achieve, and how you're going to show up. This isn't just about a morning routine. It's about laying the foundation for a life of purpose, clarity, and unshakable focus. Let's break it down. Intention is about choice. It's about claiming ownership of your day before external forces, stress, distractions, or other people's agendas take over. Imagine waking up and before you even touch your phone, you sit quietly for 5 minutes. You close your eyes, take slow, deep breaths, and ask yourself a simple but powerful question. What's my purpose today? Maybe it's to nail a presentation at work, to show kindness to someone who needs it, or to take one bold step toward a dream you've been putting off. Write it down. Make it real. This act is like programming a GPS for your day. Without it, you're driving aimlessly, hoping to stumble into something meaningful. With it, you're charting a course toward impact and fulfillment. But intention goes deeper than just setting goals. It's about aligning your actions with your values, your vision, your truth. Are you living for yourself, or are you chasing someone else's definition of success? Are you showing up as the person you want to be, or are you letting circumstances shape your identity? When you start your day with intention, you're sending a clear message to your subconscious. I am in charge. You're training your brain to filter out the noise, those endless distractions, doubts, and fears, and zero in on what truly matters. This isn't just a feel-good exercise, it's a neurological game changer. Your brain thrives on patterns, and every morning you choose intention, you're carving new neural pathways that prioritize focus, purpose, and resilience. Let's talk science for a moment. Setting an intention engages your brain's prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, decision-making, and self-control. It also activates your reticular activating system, RAS, a network of neurons that acts like a filter, helping you notice opportunities and resources that align with your focus. Ever decide to buy a specific car and suddenly see it everywhere? That's your RAS at work. By setting an intention, you're telling your brain what to prioritize, making it easier to spot the people, ideas, and moments that move you closer to your goals. This isn't magic, it's biology, and you can harness it to transform your life. So, how do you make this habit stick? Start small, because small wins build momentum. Pick one clear intention each morning. It could be as simple as today, I will stay calm during stressful moments, or I will complete one task I've been avoiding. Write it on a sticky note and place it somewhere you can't miss, your bathroom mirror, your laptop, your fridge. Pair this with a ritual to anchor the habit. Maybe it's sipping a glass of water while you reflect, doing a quick stretch, or saying a mantra that lights a fire in your soul. Like, I am focused, I am capable, I am unstoppable. The ritual doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be consistent. Do it every day, even when you're tired, even when you're doubting yourself, even when life feels like it's throwing everything at you. Because here's the truth. Feelings come and go, but habits shape your future. Let's get practical. If 5 minutes feels like too much, start with one. Sit up in bed, close your eyes, and set one intention for the day. Write it down or say it out loud. Track it. Maybe keep a journal where you note your daily intention and how you lived it out. At the end of the week, look back. Did you stay true to your intentions? What worked? What didn't? This reflection deepens the habit, making it a part of who you are. Over time, these intentional mornings compound. One day becomes a week, a month, a year. Before you know it, you're not just starting your day with intention, you're living an intentional life, one where every choice, every action, every moment aligns with the person you're becoming. But here's the real power of this habit. It changes your identity. Every morning you choose intention. You're reinforcing the belief that you're someone who takes charge, who creates their own path, who doesn't let life happen to them. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as the architect of your destiny. This shift is profound. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you are. And the best part? This habit is accessible to everyone. You don't need money, a fancy degree, or a perfect life to start. All you need is a moment, a piece of paper, and the courage to decide who you want to be today. So commit to it. Start tomorrow morning. Set an intention, live it, and watch how it rewires your mindset, one purposeful day at a time. Habit 2. Practice gratitude. Daily gratitude isn't just a trendy self-help concept. It's a mental superpower that can transform the way you see the world and your place in it. Most people wake up and immediately focus on what's wrong, the overdue bills, the argument with a friend, the endless stress of work. Their minds are wired to zero in on problems, to dwell on what's missing, to spiral into a cycle of frustration and defeat. But you're going to break that cycle. Practicing gratitude daily is about training your brain to seek out the good, to find light even in the darkest moments, to reframe challenges as opportunities. It's not about pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing to see the beauty, the lessons, the possibilities in every moment. This habit doesn't just make you feel better, it makes you stronger, more resilient, and more alive. Let's dig into why this matters. Your brain has a built-in negativity bias, a survival mechanism from our ancestors' days when spotting danger, like a predator, was more critical than appreciating a pretty flower. This bias is hardwired, but it's outdated. In today's world, it can trap you in a loop of anxiety, dissatisfaction, and self-doubt, where you notice every flaw, every failure, every reason to feel like life is against you. Gratitude is the antidote. It's like flipping a switch in your brain, shifting your focus from scarcity to abundance, from fear to possibility. When you practice gratitude, you're not just thinking happy thoughts. You're rewiring your neural pathways to default to positivity, to seek out what's working instead of what's broken. The science backs this up. Research from institutions like the University of California, Davis, shows that gratitude practice increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that regulates emotions and makes decisions. It also boosts dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters responsible for happiness, calm, and motivation. This means gratitude doesn't just feel good, it physically changes your brain, making you more resilient, more optimistic, and better equipped to handle stress. Over time, this creates a feedback loop. The more you practice gratitude, the more your brain seeks out things to be grateful for, amplifying your sense of purpose and joy. It's like upgrading your mental software to run smoother, faster, and stronger. So, how do you build this habit? Start with a gratitude journal. Every night, before you go to bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for from that day. They don't have to be monumental. Small moments count just as much. Maybe it's the warmth of your morning coffee, the way a stranger held the door for you, or the fact that you powered through a tough task at work. Be specific, because specificity makes the practice more powerful. Instead of writing, "I'm grateful for my family," try, "I'm grateful for the way my sister called me today to share a funny story, making me laugh when I needed it." This level of detail brings the moment to life, anchoring it in your memory and amplifying its emotional impact. If writing isn't your thing, don't worry. There are other ways to practice. Try a gratitude walk. Spend 10 minutes walking, whether outside or around your house, and mentally list things you're thankful for. The combination of movement and reflection helps the practice stick, as your brain associates the physical act with the mental one. Or, if you're more auditory, say your gratitudes out loud during your commute or while getting ready for bed. You could even share them with someone, a partner, a friend, a child, turning gratitude into a bonding experience. The key is to make it a daily ritual, as automatic as brushing your teeth or checking your phone. Consistency is what rewires your brain. Miss a day? No problem. Just pick it back up. The goal isn't perfection, it's persistence. Let's talk about the deeper impact. Gratitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you think. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you start to see abundance where you once saw lack. That tough day at work, you're grateful for the chance to learn resilience. That argument with a friend, you're thankful for the opportunity to grow closer through honest communication. This shift in perspective is powerful. It turns setbacks into stepping stones, challenges into chances to grow. You start to approach life with curiosity instead of fear, asking, "What can I learn from this?" instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" This mindset makes you unstoppable because no matter what happens, you find something to hold on to, something to move you forward. But gratitude isn't just about you, it's about your impact on the world. When you practice gratitude, you become more generous, more empathetic, more connected. Try this. Once a week, express gratitude to someone directly. Maybe it's thanking a coworker for their help on a project, not just with a quick thanks, but with a specific, heartfelt acknowledgement of how their effort made a difference. Or write a note to a friend, telling them why you're grateful for them. These acts don't just lift others, they lift you too, reinforcing your identity as someone who values connection, who contributes to a positive world. Over time, this creates a ripple effect, strengthening your relationships and building a support network that fuels your success. Here's a challenge to make gratitude stick. For the next 30 days, commit to writing down or saying 3 gratitudes every day. At the end of the month, review your list. You'll be amazed at how much good you've noticed, how much your perspective has shifted. You'll see patterns. Maybe you're consistently grateful for your health, your loved ones, or your ability to keep going. Those patterns are clues to what matters most to you, guiding you toward a life aligned with your values. Gratitude isn't just a habit. It's a lens that brings your world into focus, showing you that even on the hardest days, there's something worth celebrating. Start tonight. Write down 3 things. Feel the shift begin. Habit 3, embrace lifelong learning. The most successful people in the world, think innovators like Elon Musk, visionaries like Oprah Winfrey, or even the local entrepreneur who turned a small idea into a thriving business, share one trait. They never stop learning. They don't rest on what they know. They chase new knowledge, new skills, new ways of seeing the world. Lifelong learning isn't about collecting diplomas or memorizing trivia. It's about cultivating a mindset of curiosity, adaptability, and growth. It's about recognizing that the world is always evolving, and if you want to stay relevant, impactful, and fulfilled, you need to evolve with it. This habit rewires your brain from "I know enough" to "there's always more to discover." And that shift is what makes you unstoppable. Let's get into why this matters. Your brain is like a muscle. If you don't challenge it, it weakens. But if you push it, stretch it, expose it to new ideas, it grows stronger, more flexible, more creative. Learning stimulates neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new neural connections, which keeps you sharp and adaptable in a world that's changing faster than ever. Whether it's mastering a new skill, diving into a complex topic, or simply seeing an old problem from a fresh perspective, every bit of learning strengthens your mental resilience. It's like upgrading your brain's operating system, equipping you to handle life's challenges with clarity and confidence. So, how do you embrace lifelong learning? It starts with curiosity. Be the person who asks why and how, who digs deeper instead of accepting the surface answer. Maybe you're curious about artificial intelligence. Pick up a beginner's book or watch a YouTube series. Maybe you want to understand your finances better. Take an online course on investing or budgeting. Or maybe you just want to learn to cook a new cuisine. Watch a tutorial and get in the kitchen. The medium doesn't matter. The act of seeking does. Reading, listening to podcasts, watching documentaries, attending workshops, or even having deep conversations with someone who knows more than you. These are all ways to feed your brain's hunger for growth. But learning isn't just about consuming information, it's about applying it. Knowledge without action is like a car without fuel. It looks nice, but it's not going anywhere. Let's say you read a book on leadership. Don't just nod and move on. Try one strategy from it, like giving clearer feedback at work, and see how it impacts your team. If you're learning a language, don't just memorize vocabulary. Practice speaking with a friend or a language app. Action turns knowledge into wisdom, and wisdom is what rewires your mindset. It's what makes you see yourself as capable, resourceful, and ready for anything. Here's where it gets real. Learning often means failing, and that's a good thing. When you try something new, you're going to mess up. You'll mispronounce words, write buggy code, burn the dinner. That's not failure, it's feedback. Your brain learns through what scientists call the error feedback loop. Every mistake is a signal to adjust, to try again, to get better. This is how we've learned everything from walking as toddlers to solving complex problems as adults. So, embrace the discomfort. Sign up for that coding boot camp, even if you're terrified of looking dumb. Take that public speaking class, even if your voice shakes. Each stumble is a step toward mastery, and each step rewires your brain to be more confident, more resilient, more you. Let's get practical. Dedicate 30 minutes a day to learning something new. If that feels like too much, start with 10. Read a chapter of a book, watch a TED Talk, practice a skill, or even have a conversation with someone who challenges your thinking. Track your progress. Maybe keep a learning journal where you jot down what you learned each day and how you applied it. At the end of a month, look back. You'll be amazed at how much you've grown. And don't limit yourself to serious learning. Learning to play the guitar, bake sourdough, or understand the rules of a new sport counts. It's all about keeping your brain engaged, curious, and alive. Why does this matter? Because the world is moving at lightning speed. Technology, culture, economies, they're all shifting. And if you're not learning, you're falling behind. But more than that, learning is about who you're becoming. Every new skill, every new perspective, every new insight makes you a richer, more interesting, more capable version of yourself. It's not just about what you know, it's about who you are. Imagine the confidence that comes from knowing you can learn anything, tackle anything, become anything. That's the power of lifelong learning. So, commit to it. Pick one thing to learn this week. Dive in, mess up, keep going. Your brain will thank you, and your future self will be unstoppable. Habit 4, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is about anchoring yourself in the here and now, free from the weight of yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's anxieties. It's not about becoming a Zen monk or sitting cross-legged on a mountaintop. It's about training your mind to stay present, focused, and calm, no matter what life throws at you. Most people live on autopilot, their minds racing between regrets and worries, barely noticing the moment they're in. But when you practice mindfulness, you take back control. You teach your brain to pause, to breathe, to focus, turning chaos into clarity and stress into strength. This habit rewires your mindset to handle life's ups and downs with grace, resilience, and unshakable focus. Let's unpack this. Your mind is a busy place, constantly juggling thoughts, work deadlines, that awkward conversation you had, what's for dinner. This mental chatter can be exhausting, clouding your judgment and draining your energy. Mindfulness is like a mental reset button. It's about stepping out of that chatter and into the present moment, where you can think clearly and act intentionally. It's not about emptying your mind. Good luck with that. It's about observing your thoughts without getting swept away by them. When you do this, you create space. Space to choose your response. Space to find calm. Space to be the best version of yourself. The science is compelling. Mindfulness practice strengthens the prefrontal cortex, improving your ability to regulate emotions, make decisions, and focus. It also reduces activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, which means less stress and anxiety. Studies from places like Harvard show that just 8 weeks of daily mindfulness can physically change your brain, increasing gray matter in areas linked to learning, memory, and emotional regulation. This isn't just a feel-good practice. It's a neurological upgrade that makes you more resilient, more focused, and more in control. So, how do you start? Begin with 5 minutes of meditation daily. Find a quiet spot, Sit comfortably and focus on your breath. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and notice the sensation of the air moving through you. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back to your breath. Don't judge yourself for getting distracted. That's just your brain doing what brains do. The practice is in the returning, in choosing focus over chaos. If meditation feels daunting, try a guided app like Headspace or Calm, or simply set a timer and breathe. You can even practice mindfulness during daily activities, washing dishes, walking, or brushing your teeth. Focus fully on the task, noticing every detail, every sensation, every moment. But mindfulness isn't just about sitting still, it's about bringing presence to your life. Imagine you're in a heated meeting at work. Instead of reacting impulsively, you take a deep breath, notice your racing heart, and choose a calm, thoughtful response. That's mindfulness in action. Or picture eating a meal without scrolling your phone, savoring every bite, every flavor. That's mindfulness too. It's about showing up fully for your life, not just skimming the surface. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to default to calm and clarity, even in high-pressure situations. Let's get practical. Start with 5 minutes a day, ideally in the morning to set the tone. If that's too much, try 2. Use a timer or an app to guide you. Track your practice in a journal, noting how you feel before and after. Over a month, you'll notice changes. Maybe you're less reactive, more focused, or just calmer. To deepen the habit, integrate mindfulness into your day. Pause before responding to an email, take 3 deep breaths before a tough conversation, or notice the feeling of your feet on the ground during a walk. These micro moments of mindfulness add up, training your brain to stay present and in control. Why does this matter? Because life is unpredictable, and a scattered mind is a weak mind. Mindfulness gives you the tools to navigate challenges with poise, to make decisions from a place of clarity, to live with intention. It's like building a mental fortress where external chaos can't touch your inner calm. Start today. Take 5 minutes to breathe, to be present, to be you. Your mindset will thank you, and your life will transform. Habit 5. Set clear goals. Goals are the compass that keeps you from wandering through life aimlessly. Without them, you're like a ship drifting at sea, hoping to stumble into a destination. With clear goals, you have direction, purpose, and a reason to get out of bed each morning. This habit isn't just about writing down what you want, it's about creating a roadmap for your dreams, breaking them into actionable steps, and staying focused even when the path gets tough. Setting clear goals rewires your mindset from "I'll figure it out someday" to "I'm building my future today," turning vague wishes into tangible realities. Let's dive in. Goals give your brain something to latch onto. Without them, your mind flounders, distracted by shiny objects or paralyzed by indecision. But when you set a clear goal, you activate your brain's reward system, giving you a sense of purpose and motivation. Whether it's a big dream, like starting a business, running a marathon, or writing a novel, or a smaller milestone, like saving $1,000 or learning a new skill, goals give you something to aim for. They turn the abstract into the concrete, the impossible into the achievable. The key is clarity. Vague goals like get fit or be successful are useless. They're too fuzzy to guide you. Clear goals are specific, measurable, and time-bound. Instead of get fit, try run a 5K in under 30 minutes by December. Instead of be successful, aim for launch my online store by March with 10 products listed. This specificity does 2 things. It gives your brain a clear target, and it makes progress trackable. You can see how far you've come and what's left to do, which keeps you motivated. Studies show that people who set specific goals are 10 times more likely to achieve them than those who don't. That's the power of clarity. So, how do you build this habit? Start by picking one big goal that excites you. Write it down in vivid detail. What does success look like? How will it feel? Then break it into smaller, actionable steps. If your goal is to run a marathon, your steps might include run 2 miles 3 times this week, research training plans by Friday, or buy running shoes this weekend. Write these steps in a journal or app and review them weekly. This keeps you accountable and helps you adjust if you're off track. Celebrate small wins along the way. Finished your first 5K? Treat yourself to a nice meal. These rewards reinforce the habit, making it stick. But goals aren't just about the finish line. They're about who you become in the process. Setting and pursuing goals teaches you discipline, resilience, and self trust. Every step you take, even if it's messy or imperfect, reinforces the belief that you're capable of creating change. And when setbacks happen, because they will, clear goals give you a reason to keep going. You'll hit days when you're tired, doubtful, or overwhelmed. That's when you look at your goal, remind yourself why it matters, and take one small step forward. That step rewires your brain to prioritize progress over perfection, effort over excuses. Let's get practical. Take 10 minutes today to write down one big goal and three smaller steps to get started. Put them somewhere visible: your desk, your phone, your fridge. Review them every Sunday, checking what you accomplished and planning the next week's steps. If you miss a step, don't beat yourself up. Adjust and keep moving. To deepen the habit, visualize your goal daily. Picture yourself crossing that finish line, launching that business, holding that book you wrote. This mental rehearsal primes your brain for success, making your goal feel real and achievable. Why does this matter? Because a life without goals is a life without direction. Goals give you purpose, focus, and a reason to push through the hard days. They're not just about what you achieve, they're about who you become. So set a goal today. Make it clear, make it bold, make it yours. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how it rewires your mindset, turning your dreams into reality. Habit 6. Cultivate discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Motivation is like a spark. It flares up, feels amazing, then fades just as quickly. Discipline, on the other hand, is the steady flame that keeps burning, pushing you forward even when you're tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed. Most people wait for the right moment to act, hoping they'll feel ready or motivated. But here's the harsh truth: the right moment never comes. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of excuses. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when your body begs to stay under the covers. What makes you write that email when you'd rather scroll social media? What keeps you moving toward your goals when everything feels like it's falling apart? This habit rewires your mindset from "I'll do it when I feel like it" to "I do it because it's who I am," transforming you into someone who doesn't just dream, they do. Let's paint a picture. Imagine it's 6 a.m. Your alarm is blaring, and every fiber of your being wants to hit snooze. Your mind whispers, "You're too tired. Skip the workout today. You'll start tomorrow." But discipline steps in. You swing your legs out of bed, lace up your sneakers, and go for that run. Not because you feel like it, but because you've decided that's who you are: someone who shows up. Or picture yourself at work, facing a daunting project you've been avoiding. Instead of procrastinating, you set a timer for 25 minutes and dive in, tackling one small piece. That's discipline in action. It's not glamorous, but it's powerful. It's the difference between wishing for success and building it, one choice at a time. Why does discipline matter? Because it's the foundation of every great achievement. Your brain loves habits. It's wired to automate repeated behaviors to save energy. When you cultivate discipline, you're creating a habit of action, training your brain to prioritize commitment over comfort. This rewires your neural pathways, strengthening the prefrontal cortex, which governs self-control and decision-making. Studies, like those from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, show that self-discipline is a stronger predictor of success than talent or intelligence. Talent gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. It's what turns a fleeting idea into a finished book, a vague fitness goal into a marathon finish line, a side hustle into a thriving business. So, how do you build discipline? Start small, because small wins create momentum. Pick one non-negotiable task to do every day, no matter how you feel. It could be 10 minutes of exercise, writing 100 words toward your project, or reading one page of a book. The task doesn't have to be huge, it just has to be consistent. Let's say you choose to meditate for 5 minutes every morning. On day 1, it feels easy. On day 3, you're tired and tempted to skip. Do it anyway. That moment of pushing through resistance is where discipline is born. Over time, your brain starts to see this task as non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth. It becomes part of your identity, and that's when the magic happens. Discipline in one area spills over into others, making you more focused, more reliable, more unstoppable. Let's get practical. Choose one task to commit to for the next 30 days. Write it down. I will task every day at time. Be specific. Vague promises like I'll work out more don't work. Try I'll do 10 push ups every morning at 7 a.m. Put a reminder on your phone, stick a note on your fridge, or tell a friend to hold you accountable. Track your progress. Mark an X on a calendar for each day you complete the task. Seeing those X's stack up is incredibly motivating. It's visual proof of your discipline. If you miss a day, and you might, don't spiral into guilt. Just get back on track. The goal isn't perfection, it's persistence. Here's the deeper impact. Discipline changes how you see yourself. Every time you choose action over excuses, you're reinforcing the belief that you're someone who follows through, someone who can be trusted, someone who builds their own future. This shift in identity is profound. You stop waiting for motivation or perfect conditions and start creating your own momentum. You become the person who writes the book, runs the race, builds the business, not because you're special, but because you show up. Discipline also builds resilience. Life will throw curveballs, stress, setbacks, doubts, but discipline gives you the strength to keep going, to say, I'm not giving up on myself. Let's talk science again. Discipline strengthens your brain's executive functions, like impulse control and delayed gratification. A famous study, the marshmallow test, showed that kids who could delay gratification, resisting a marshmallow to get to later, were more likely to succeed in school, work, and life. Discipline is your adult marshmallow test. When you say no to short-term comfort, like scrolling social media, and yes to long-term growth, like working on your goals, you're rewiring your brain for success. Over time, this creates a feedback loop. The more disciplined you are, the easier it becomes to stay disciplined. Here's a challenge. For the next 30 days, pick one small task and do it every day. No excuses. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning, writing one sentence for your blog, or doing 5 minutes of stretching. Track it, celebrate it, and watch how it transforms your mindset. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about power. The power to shape your life one choice at a time. Start today. Choose your task, commit to it, and become the person who doesn't just dream, they do. Habit 7. Surround yourself with positivity. Your environment shapes your mind, your mood, and your future. Think about it. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, the spaces you inhabit, they all influence how you think, feel, and act. Most people don't realize how much their surroundings drag them down. They hang out with complainers who see problems in everything, scroll through endless feeds of negativity, or work in cluttered spaces that sap their energy. But you're going to be different. Surrounding yourself with positivity is about curating an environment that lifts you up, inspires you, and pushes you toward your best self. This habit rewires your mindset from I'm stuck with what's around me to I create a world that fuels my growth, turning your environment into a catalyst for success. Let's paint a picture. Imagine starting your day with a friend who's always excited about their goals, who challenges you to think bigger, who celebrates your wins like they're their own. Compare that to spending time with someone who constantly complains, who doubts your dreams, who drains your energy. The difference is night and day. Or think about your media diet. Picture opening your phone to inspiring podcasts, uplifting music, or articles that spark new ideas, versus drowning in news headlines that leave you anxious or social media posts that make you feel inadequate. Your environment isn't just background noise. It's a force that shapes your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions. Why does this matter? Your brain is wired to adapt to its surroundings, a concept called social contagion. Studies like those from Harvard show that emotions and behaviors are contagious. Spend time with negative people, and you're more likely to feel negative. Hang out with ambitious, positive people, and their drive rubs off on you. This happens because of mirror neurons, which make you mimic the behaviors and attitudes of those around you. The same goes for media and physical spaces. A cluttered desk or a doom-scrolling habit can make your brain feel chaotic, while a clean space and uplifting content can spark clarity and motivation. By curating a positive environment, you're rewiring your brain to default to optimism, resilience, and growth. So, how do you build this habit? Start with an audit. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Do they inspire you, challenge you, support you? If not, It's time to set boundaries. You don't have to cut people out completely, but you can limit time with those who drain you and seek out those who energize you. Join a community, maybe a local book club, a professional network, or an online group aligned with your goals. Find a mentor who's walked the path you want to follow. Even one positive influence can shift your perspective. Next, audit your inputs. What are you feeding your brain? Swap one negative source, like a news app that stresses you out, for something uplifting, like a podcast about personal growth or a playlist that pumps you up. Curate your social media, unfollow accounts that make you feel small, and follow those that inspire you. Finally, look at your physical space. A cluttered desk or home can make your mind feel cluttered too. Spend 10 minutes decluttering one area: a drawer, a shelf, your desktop. Create a space that feels calm, focused, and yours. Let's get practical. This week, make 3 changes. Connect with one positive person. Maybe message someone you admire or join a group. Replace one negative media source with a positive one. Swap 10 minutes of news for a motivational podcast and declutter one small space. Track how these changes make you feel. Over time, these shifts compound. Your brain starts to crave positivity, making it easier to stay motivated and focused. You'll notice you're less reactive, less drained, more inspired to take action. Here's the deeper impact. A positive environment doesn't just make you feel good, it makes you believe in yourself. When you're surrounded by people who see your potential, content that sparks ideas, and spaces that feel clear, you start to see yourself as capable, worthy, and ready for big things. This habit also builds resilience. Life will always have negativity, but a positive environment acts like a shield, helping you bounce back faster. Challenge yourself. For 30 days, actively seek out positive influences and limit negative ones. Notice how your mindset shifts, how your energy grows, how your goals feel closer. Your environment is your foundation. Build one that lifts you up. Habit 8. Take care of your body. Your mind and body are 2 sides of the same coin. What you do to one affects the other. Most people treat their bodies like an afterthought, skipping meals, skimping on sleep, or sitting all day, then wonder why they feel sluggish, foggy, or unmotivated. But you're going to be different. Taking care of your body is about fueling your mind for success, giving you the energy, clarity, and confidence to chase your goals. This habit rewires your mindset from "my body doesn't matter" to "my body is my powerhouse," turning self-care into the foundation of everything you achieve. Let's visualize it. Imagine waking up after a solid 8 hours of sleep, your mind sharp and your body energized. You start your day with a 20-minute walk, feeling your heart pump and your lungs fill with fresh air. You eat a breakfast packed with nutrients, maybe eggs, avocado, and fruit, fueling your brain for focus and creativity. Compare that to dragging yourself out of bed after 5 hours of sleep, chugging coffee to stay awake, and grabbing a donut because it's quick. The first scenario sets you up to conquer your day. The second sets you up to struggle. Your body isn't just a vessel, it's the engine that drives your dreams. Why does this matter? Your brain and body are deeply connected. Exercise, nutrition, and sleep directly impact your cognitive function, mood, and resilience. Studies, like those from the American College of Sports Medicine, show that regular exercise increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that promotes neural growth and improves memory, focus, and mood. Proper nutrition, think whole foods like vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, provides the raw materials your brain needs to function at its peak. And sleep? It's when your brain consolidates memories, processes emotions, and repairs itself. Skimp on any of these, and you're running on half a tank. Prioritize them, and you're firing on all cylinders. So, how do you build this habit? Start with one small change in each area: movement, nutrition, and sleep. For movement, commit to 20 minutes of exercise daily. It could be walking, yoga, or a quick bodyweight workout. No gym? No problem. Do jumping jacks in your living room. For nutrition, swap one processed food for a whole food each day. Replace soda with water or chips with an apple. For sleep, aim for 7 to 8 hours by setting a consistent bedtime and creating a wind-down routine, like reading or dimming lights an hour before bed. These don't have to be massive changes. Small, consistent shifts add up. Let's get practical. This week, pick one goal for each area. Walk 20 minutes daily. Eat one vegetable with every meal. and go to bed 15 minutes earlier than usual. Track your progress in a journal or app, noting how you feel. More energy, sharper focus, better mood. If you slip up, late night, skipped workout, don't stress. Just get back on track. The goal is consistency, not perfection. To make it stick, tie your habits to existing routines. For example, do a quick stretch right after brushing your teeth or drink a glass of water before your morning coffee. These habit stacks make new behaviors easier to maintain. Here's the deeper impact. Taking care of your body changes how you see yourself. When you move, eat well, and rest, you're sending a message to your brain: I'm worth taking care of. This boosts your self-esteem and confidence, making it easier to tackle challenges. It also builds discipline. Saying no to that extra hour of Netflix or that second slice of cake strengthens your ability to make tough choices in other areas. Over time, your brain starts to associate self-care with success, creating a positive feedback loop that fuels your motivation. Challenge yourself. For 30 days, commit to one small change in movement, nutrition, and sleep. Track how it impacts your energy, focus, and mood. You'll be amazed at how much stronger you feel, how much clearer your mind is. Your body is your foundation. Treat it like the powerhouse it is, and it will carry you to heights you never imagined. Habit 9. Practice self-reflection. Self-reflection is like holding a mirror to your soul. It's about pausing to look at your actions, your wins, your mistakes, and asking, who am I becoming? Most people rush through life without stopping to think, letting days blur into weeks without learning from them. But you're going to be different. Practicing self-reflection is about carving out time to understand yourself, your strengths, your blind spots, your patterns, so you can grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your goals. This habit rewires your mindset from "I'm just getting by" to "I'm growing every day," turning every experience into a stepping stone toward your best self. Imagine this. It's the end of a long week, and you're sitting quietly with a notebook. You ask yourself, what went well this week? What didn't? What can I do better? Maybe you realize you nailed a project at work, but snapped at a friend when you were stressed. You write it down, not to judge yourself, but to learn. You decide to celebrate the win and practice patience next time you're stressed. This simple act of reflection turns a chaotic week into a lesson, a chance to grow. Without it, you're just repeating the same patterns, hoping for different results. With it, you're building a roadmap to a better you. Why does this matter? Self-reflection builds self-awareness, the foundation of personal growth. Without it, you're blind to the habits holding you back: procrastination, self-doubt, reactivity. Research from the Journal of Personality shows that self-aware people are more likely to achieve their goals, build better relationships, and handle stress effectively. Reflection also strengthens your brain's metacognition, your ability to think about your thinking, which improves decision-making and problem-solving. By regularly reflecting, you're rewiring your brain to see every experience, good or bad, as an opportunity to learn and grow. So, how do you build this habit? Set aside 10 minutes weekly. Sunday evenings work well to reflect. Use a journal and ask 3 questions. What went well this week? What could I improve? What's one action I'll take next week? Be honest but kind to yourself. For example, maybe you're proud of sticking to your workout routine, but notice you've been avoiding a tough conversation. Your action might be to schedule that talk for Monday. If writing isn't your thing, reflect out loud, talk to a trusted friend, or record a voice memo. The key is to make it regular, like a weekly check-in with yourself. Let's get practical. Start this Sunday with a 10-minute reflection session. Write down your answers to the 3 questions, or discuss them with someone you trust. Track your reflections over a month. You'll start to see patterns, like what triggers stress or what fuels your success. To deepen the habit, try daily micro-reflections. At the end of each day, ask, what's one thing I learned today? Write it down or think it through. These moments of pause build self-awareness, helping you spot what's working and what's not. Here's the deeper impact. Reflection turns life into a classroom. Every success becomes a lesson in what you're capable of. Every failure becomes a lesson in how to grow. This mindset makes you resilient. You stop fearing mistakes because you know they're part of the process. Reflection also builds confidence. When you see how far you've come, how much you've learned, you start to trust yourself more. Challenge yourself for 30 days. Commit to weekly reflection and daily micro reflections. Watch how your self awareness grows, how your choices align with your goals, how your mindset shifts from reactive to proactive. Reflection isn't just looking back, it's building a better future. Habit 10. Limit distractions. Your attention is your superpower, but distractions are its kryptonite. In today's world, your focus is under constant attack. Phone notifications, social media feeds, endless emails, even your own wandering thoughts. Most people let these distractions hijack their day, leaving them scattered, unproductive, and frustrated. But you're going to be different. Limiting distractions is about guarding your attention like a treasure, creating space for deep focus, clear thinking, and meaningful progress. This habit rewires your mindset from "I'm too busy to focus" to "I control where my energy goes," turning you into a master of your time and your goals. Picture this. You're working on a project, fully in the zone, ideas flowing, progress happening. Then, ping, a notification pops up. You check it, and suddenly you're down a rabbit hole of emails, texts, and Instagram reels. An hour later, you've lost your flow, your momentum, your confidence. Now imagine a different scenario. You silence your phone, close your email, and set a timer for 60 minutes of uninterrupted work. You dive in, and when the timer goes off, you've made real progress. You feel accomplished, energized, in control. That's the power of limiting distractions. It's not just about getting more done. It's about reclaiming your mental clarity and proving to yourself that you can focus when it matters. Why does this matter? Your brain isn't built for constant multitasking. Studies, like those from Stanford University, show that multitasking reduces productivity by up to 40% and increases stress. Every time you switch tasks, like checking a text while working, you lose focus and have to spend mental energy getting back on track. This attention residue clouds your thinking and saps your energy. By limiting distractions, you're training your brain to enter a state of deep focus, what psychologists call flow. In flow, you're fully immersed, time disappears, and you do your best work. This state not only boosts productivity, but also rewires your brain to crave focus, making it easier to tackle big goals. So, how do you build this habit? Start with an audit of your distractions. What pulls your attention most often? Is it your phone, email, a noisy environment? Identify one or two key culprits and make a plan to limit them. For example, turn off non-essential notifications on your phone or set it to Do Not Disturb during work hours. Create a deep work block, 30 minutes to start, where you close all tabs, silence your phone, and focus on one task. If your environment is noisy, use noise-canceling headphones or find a quiet space. Even your thoughts can be distractions. Write down nagging to-dos so they don't interrupt your focus. Let's get practical. This week, pick one distraction to eliminate. Maybe it's checking your phone during meals or scrolling social media during work hours. Replace it with a focused activity like reading or working on a goal. Set up your environment for success. Clear your desk, close unnecessary apps, tell colleagues you're unavailable for an hour. Track your progress. After each focus session, note how much you accomplished and how you felt. Over time, you'll notice your brain craving these distraction-free zones, making focus your default state. Here's the deeper impact. Limiting distractions builds self-trust. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you're proving to yourself that you can control your attention, your time, your life. This boosts confidence and reduces stress. You're no longer at the mercy of every ping or whim. It also creates space for creativity and problem solving. When your mind isn't scattered, you can think deeply, connect ideas, and do work that matters. Challenge yourself. For 30 days, commit to one distraction-free block daily. Start small, 15 minutes, and build from there. Watch how your productivity soars, how your goals feel closer, how your mindset shifts from scattered to sharp. Your attention is your power. Guard it fiercely. Habit 11. Embrace failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Most people fear failure, seeing it as a dead end, a sign they're not good enough. They avoid risks, play it safe, and stay stuck in their comfort zones. But you're going to be different. Embracing failure is about reframing it as feedback, a teacher, a stepping stone to growth. This habit rewires your mindset from "I can't fail" to "every failure makes me stronger," turning setbacks into opportunities and fear into fuel. When you embrace failure, You unlock the courage to take risks, the resilience to keep going, and the wisdom to succeed. Imagine this. You apply for a job you really want, but you don't get it. Your first instinct is to feel crushed, to think, I'm not good enough. But instead, you pause. You ask, what can I learn from this? Maybe your resume needs work, or you could practice your interview skills. You take those lessons, tweak your approach, and apply again. Or picture launching a side hustle that flops. No sales, no traction. Instead of giving up, you analyze what went wrong. Maybe your marketing was off, or your product needs refining. You adjust and try again. This is what embracing failure looks like. Not a defeat, but a detour to something better. Why does this matter? Failure is how your brain learns. Neuroscientists call it the error feedback loop. When you make a mistake, your brain analyzes the gap between what you did and what you wanted, then adjusts. This is how you learn to walk, to read, to solve problems. Studies like those from Stanford's Carol Dweck show that people with a growth mindset, who see failure as a chance to learn, are more likely to persist and succeed than those with a fixed mindset, who fear failure. By embracing failure, you're rewiring your brain to see challenges as opportunities, reducing fear and building resilience. So, how do you build this habit? Start by reframing failure in your mind. When something doesn't work out, don't say, I failed. Say, I learned. After a setback, take 10 minutes to reflect. What went wrong? What can I do differently? Write down 3 lessons and 1 action step. For example, if a presentation bombs, you might realize you didn't prepare enough or got nervous. Your action could be to practice in front of a friend next time. To make failure less scary, start small. Try something low stakes, like cooking a new recipe or learning a new skill, where mistakes don't feel catastrophic. Each time you fail and learn, you're training your brain to see failure as growth. Let's get practical. This week, do one thing that scares you. A small risk, like speaking up in a meeting or trying a new hobby. If it doesn't go perfectly, write down what you learned and 1 step to improve. Track these failure lessons over a month. You'll see how they stack up into progress. To deepen the habit, share your failures with someone you trust. Talking about them normalizes mistakes and makes them less intimidating. Over time, your brain starts to crave the growth that comes from failure, making you bolder and more resilient. Here's the deeper impact. Embracing failure changes your relationship with fear. You stop seeing mistakes as proof you're not enough and start seeing them as evidence you're trying. This builds courage. You're more willing to take risks, chase big goals, and step outside your comfort zone. It also builds wisdom. Each failure teaches you something new about yourself, your goals, the world. Challenge yourself. For 30 days, seek out 1 small failure each week. Try something new. Take a risk. Learn from it. Watch how your fear of failure shrinks, how your confidence grows, how your mindset shifts from cautious to courageous. Failure isn't the end. It's the beginning of your greatest growth. Stay in it. Life doesn't wait for you, but you don't have to chase it blindly. These 11 habits, starting your day with intention, practicing gratitude, embracing lifelong learning, practicing mindfulness, setting clear goals, cultivating discipline, surrounding yourself with positivity, taking care of your body, practicing self-reflection, limiting distractions, and embracing failure, are your blueprint for rewiring your mindset. They're not just actions, they're transformations, building a version of you that's focused, resilient, and unstoppable. Start small, stay consistent, and trust the process. Why must you succeed? Because you're capable of more than you know, because your dreams are worth fighting for, and because the world needs your unique light. Stay in it. Keep showing up. You're not just building habits, you're building a legacy that will outlast you. Subscribe for more.